Hello.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening. Okay. Uh,
Good evening, sir.
Hello. We'll continue with problems. Today will be probably the last class for AOD. Uh, After that, we'll start a new topic. So let's look at this question. If A alpha is the greatest term in the sequence an is equal to n cube by n power 4 plus 147, where n can be 1, 2, 3, and so on, then alpha is equal to what? Basically, you can see that this sequence you can write n is equal to 1, 2, 3, and so on. You'll get different terms. You have to find the greatest term of this sequence.
Hmm.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening. Try this question.
Sir, n is not coming out to be an integer.
What are you saying?
N is not coming to be an integer.
But
100. N
then you
square
have
is 21.
then you have to check what is the value for the nearest integers, right?
Yes, sir. So it must be 4. Root 21 is between 4 to 5.
So you'll have to check 4 and 5 both and see which one is bigger, right?
Okay.
Basically, the idea is you cannot directly use calculus on this function because the variable is not continuous, right?
Yes, sir.
It is a discrete variable. Is everyone understanding what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
If the values are going 1, 2, 3, and all, it's not defined on real numbers. So therefore, you can't do directly calculus. So you will do an approximation. Let's define a new function which is continuous but looks like this only, right? This is defined for x belongs to real.
Yes, sir.
It looks like this only, but we are going to estimate basically the values of this sequence using this function and now try to find maxima minima for this. So f dash x should be 0. F dash x you will do by quotient rule, and you should get uh, something like 3x square times x power 4 plus 147 minus x cube and 4x cube divided by x power 4 plus 147 square. So for maxima minima, this part should be 0. So you have something like 3x power 6 plus 3 times 147 x square minus 4x power 6 is 0. Numerator should be 0. So finally you're getting what? X power 6 or x power 4 is equal to 3 times 147, which is 9 times 49, right? So basically x square is coming out to be 21. And from there x is coming something in between 4 point something. So if the maxima of this function is near 4 point something, then obviously this function you have to check at n is equal to 4 and n is equal to 5. Whichever one is bigger will be your maximum term. Is everyone understanding what I'm saying?
AMGN?
What?
Can we also use AMGN?
If it works, you can use it, but is it working?
Yes, sir. We can divide n cube in the denominator. Then we get n plus 147 by n cube.
Mm-hmm.
Can write n as n by 3 plus n by 3 plus n by 3.
N plus 147 by n cube. And then you can do plus 147 by n cube. So you can say this part will be greater than equal to 1 by 4 times 4th root.
7 by 2.
147 by n cube. This n will gets cancelled. 3 gets cancelled. 49.
49 by 9.
Square root of 7 by 3, right?
Yes, yes.
Getting greater than equal to square root of 7 by 3. So this thing is greater than this, so the whole term will be less than equal to, right?
Yes, sir.
1 by 4 times square root of 7 by 3, and that equality will happen when n by 3 is equal to 147 by n cube.
Yes, sir.
AMGM is equal when the terms in itself are equal. So n power 4, again you'll get the same thing. N power 4 is equal to 3 into 147. That is the moment when this is the maximum value,
Yes,
right?
sir.
Okay, so AMGM also can be done, but it is trickier to do AMGM. You should most likely do calculus first, right? Answer is 5, by the way. You should check that. Answer should be 5. Let a curve y is equal to f of x, where x belongs to 0 to infinity, pass through p, which is 1 comma 3 by 2, and q, which is a comma half, if the tangent at any point r, which is given by b comma f of b, to the given curve, cuts the y-axis at s, which is 0 comma c, such that b times c is equal to 3, then find PQ square. Basically, you have to find A. If you want to find PQ square, you need A. From this information, you are supposed to find out A, right?
Yes, sir.
So try it. It's an easy question. You have to do it slowly, step by step, without making any mistake. See, you have to start from this sentence. Tangent at this point cuts the y-axis at this point, right? So let's say instead of this point, I write it as x comma f of x is the point R. So when they say BC is equal to 3, I should write XC equal to 3, right?
Yes, sir.
Because here B was this coordinate, x coordinate of R. So, and they're writing R here, right? X coordinate of R. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Why am I doing that is will become clear. So let's draw the equation of tangent at R to the curve. Equation is y minus x, y minus f of x is equal to f dash x and x. Okay, I should write it in a different way. I should write it like this. Capital Y and capital X. Capital Y minus f of x is equal to f dash x, capital X minus x. This is the equation of the tangent, right?
Yes,
Yes.
Because these points are actually known. Just because we are writing symbol X doesn't mean it is unknown. It's known thing, right? So where does it meet the y-axis? When capital X is 0, it will meet the y-axis, right? Correct?
yes, sir.
When
Yes, sir.
capital X is 0, y value, capital Y value will be 0 minus x. So it will be f of x minus x times f dash x, right?
Yes,
So it meets the y-axis at 0 comma f of x minus x times f dash x. So this must be my C, right? This part. Because they have said that the point is 0, comma C. Right?
Yes, sir.
So now I know C is actually equal to f of x minus x times f dash x, where x and all was r's coordinates. And now we also know that b times c or x times c is 3. So what we can say is x times f of x minus x square times f dash x is equal to 3, right? Because of this relation, x times c is 3. Therefore, this is coming, right?
Yes, sir.
Yashwant, are you understanding what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now what we have is this question has gone from AOD question to differential equations question, because in order to find the equation of the curve, I should try to find what is y here. If f of x is y, what is this? So from this equation. So what we will do is try to think of this differential equation and see how we can solve it.
We can take x square f of f dash of x to the RHS, and we can bring 3 in the LHS, and then we will divide RHS by LHS. So we will be getting x f of x divided by x square f dash of x divided by x of x into f of x minus 3.
You can do it in many ways. One way to do this is y minus x dy by dx is equal to 3 by x, right?
Yes,
So we can write it as uh, minus x dy by dx plus y is equal to 3 by x, and divide by x also, and minus x actually. You get dy by dx plus y times minus 1 by x is equal to minus 3 by x squared, right? Do you recognize this standard form?
yes, sir.
So those who have not done differential equations may not understand this part, but this is a standard form of differential equations. Dy by dx plus px times y is equal to q of x. This is called a linear differential equation. Okay. And if you have an equation looking like this, then the solution or y value can be found by doing y times integrating factor is integral of qx times integrating factor, and where integrating factor is e power integral p of x dx. Those who have not done differential equations, this is pretty basic standard theory. So once you go to that chapter, you will be able to do it. So right now, don't worry about it if you don't understand. Those who have done in differential equations should already know this. So
Yes, sir.
in this case, my px is minus 1 by x and qx is this. So integrating factor is what? E power integral of minus 1 by x dx. So that is becoming e power minus ln x, right? So that is simply 1 by x, right?
Yes, sir.
And this equation tells us y times 1 by x is equal to integral of qx. Qx is minus 3 by x square, and integrating factor is 1 by x dx. So this is minus 3, and it is integration of 1 by x cube, which is x power minus 2 by minus 2, right? Plus c, correct?
Yes, sir.
So you are getting the solution y by x is equal to 3 by 2x square plus c. This is the solution of the differential equation. If you can check that this will satisfy the initial differential equation we had. This equation that we had, it will be satisfied if you try with this. Anyway, this is you will learn about it when we do differential equation. For now, we have solved the differential equation, gotten y in terms of x, but we have still not found the constant of integration that came here, right? How do we find that? We find that by putting P as a point on the curve, right? P or 1 comma 3 by 2 is a point on the curve. Therefore, it will satisfy this curve equation, right?
Yes, sir.
So what we will say is x is 1, y should be 3 by 2. So let's put that there. You will get 3 by 2 divided by 1 is equal to 3 by 2, x is 1 plus c. So that gives us c is 0, right? So you are getting simply y by x is equal to 3 by 2x square. X get cancelled and you get 2xy equal to 3. That is my curve. Okay. And now, because Q is also a point on the curve, you can say 2a and y is half is equal to 3. So a is equal to 3. Right?
Yes, sir.
So the point Q we have gotten is 3 comma half. And now by distance formula, you can say it is 4 plus 1 square. So PQ square is equal to 5. The question is a good one because it uses a little bit of the AOD part, but after that it's actually solving this equation to find y. It is a differential equations question. So it combines several chapters. So that's why I wanted to show you. Everyone is understanding what we have done, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Next one is this one. Maybe we have discussed this before. I'm not sure. Okay, we might not have. Number of points where the curve y is equal to x power 5 minus 20x cube plus 50x plus 2 crosses the x-axis. Number of points where this curve crosses the x-axis. We have done one question like this maybe before, but we have not done the exact question. The idea is y is equal to fx. You have to understand the nature of this graph, right? To figure out how many times it will cross the x-axis, correct?
Yes, sir.
So you should realize that as x tends to infinity, y will tend to infinity, and as x tends to minus infinity, y will tend to minus infinity. So it definitely crosses the x-axis once at least, right?
Yes, sir.
And after that, you have to think about the graph of this curve, which you should realize from f dash x and f double dash x. You should try to think of the graph of the curve and also try to think of how many times it crosses the x-axis. So for that, you should check the sign of f of x. What do I mean by check the sign of f of x? You have to check it at some specific points. If the curve is changing sign from one point to the next point, then obviously it has crossed the x-axis in between, right? Is everyone understanding what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Suppose you knew that f of minus 1 is less than 0, but f of 0 is greater than 0. So what has happened between minus 1 and 0? Must have crossed the x-axis, right?
Yeah.
So that is going to be useful in deciding how many times it crosses the x-axis. Also, you have to think of the derivatives to understand the increasing or decreasing nature of the graph. Increasing, decreasing nature.
I think it has 4 critical points.
I don't care about the critical points. I want the final answer from you.
Okay.
Is everyone able to find the critical points roughly at least?
Yes, sir.
Critical points are where f dash x is 0. F dash x is 0 will give you a fourth degree equation. You should get something like 5 times x power 4 minus 12x square plus 10 equal to 0. This is a fourth degree equation. It can have 4 roots. You have to see all the roots and figure out which one, what are those roots. So a simple way to solve this is to take x square as a t and solve for a quadratic in t, right?
Yes, sir.
Your t will come out to be something like 6 plus minus root 26. So think about it, this t is positive in both the values. 6 minus root 26 is still positive. So technically both the values are positive and t was actually x square. So you will get x, 4 values of x, right? 6 plus root 26 and 6 minus root 26 and plus minus of this, right? The critical values are coming like this. I hope you are getting the same thing. Is everyone getting these critical values?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So what is the purpose of finding this? The purpose is critical values are telling us that your values are root over 11.1 plus minus and plus minus root over 0.9 roughly. I'm doing a rough calculation here. So this will be plus minus 3.3 and this will be plus minus 0.9 something, maybe 95. All of these are rough calculations. These are 2 critical points. These are 2 critical points, right?
Yes, sir.
At those places, the graph changes from increasing to decreasing because f dash x is becoming 0 at those places. So before that, it must have been positive and negative and things like that, right?
Yes, sir.
So now what you have to do is you have to think of the number line. On the number line, you have to mark your critical points. So one is 3.3.3 and one is minus 3.3 roughly, and one is plus 0.95 and this is minus 0.95. 1 is here, 3 is here, minus 1 is here, minus 3 is here, and 0 is here. What I want you to think about is what are the values of the function near and nearby the critical points, right? You should check the values of the functions at points like f of 0, f of 1, f of 2, f of 3, and so on. Similarly, f of minus 1, f of minus 2. Because what you know is near the critical points, it will be maxima, minima at these points, right? Maxima or minima at these points. Correct?
Yes, sir.
So you will get a hang of, once you know the values of the function at certain points, you will get a hang of whether it is increasing or decreasing, whether it is positive or negative, and so on, right? Because you know maxima minima will happen at those 4 points, you can draw the graph appropriately. I hope everyone is understanding what I'm saying. These values will be completely known to you, so you have to connect those points, right?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
You have to connect those 5, 6 points that you have calculated, but now you also know where the maxima minima could happen, right? Correct? So
yes,
near these points, you can see whether the first derivative is positive or negative, because you anyway know f dash x also. F dash x also we know how to calculate. We have fx also. So ideally, you should be able to draw a rough graph of the whole situation now. You can even find maximum minimum by taking f double dash x and trying to find whether it is positive or negative at each of these points, right?
yes, sir.
Anybody has drawn a rough graph and gotten an answer?
Can you once show the function? Actually, I directly wrote the derivative on my notebook.
Function is x power 5 minus 20x cube plus 50x plus 2. When you know the derivative, why can't you get the function?
I didn't remember the function.
Yeah, I'll leave this experiment to you. You need to draw the graph of it. There are 5 points where it crosses the x-axis. You should know enough about how to draw the graph using maxima, minima, using specific points to find an exact graph roughly.
F of 0 is positive, f of 1 is also positive, f of 2 is negative, f of 3 is negative.
You have to find also whether these points are maxima, minima, so that you can join them properly. So do it yourself. I will move on to the next one. Answer is 5 for the previous one. Okay, next one is this. Let the tangent to curve x square plus 2x minus 4y plus 9 equal to 0 at t 1 comma 3 on it meet the y-axis at A. Let the line passing through P and parallel to the line x minus 3y equals 6 meet the parabola y square is equal to 4x at B. If B lies on the line 2x minus 3y equals 8, then what is AB square? How do you find equation of tangent to this curve at P at a given point?
So by derivative, we can get the slope and then we can write in the 1 point form.
Yeah.
Slope and point form.
That is one way, but if you have no calculus available to you, how can you find the tangent even then?
So we can replace x square with x1
Hmm.
and 2x with x plus x1 and y with y plus y1 by 2.
So this is a very important idea. This is a standard 2-degree curve, 2-degree in x and y. 2-degree curve in x and y could be anything. It could be circle, parabola, ellipse, hyperbola. It could even be a pair of straight lines, right?
Yes, sir.
Anytime you need a tangent to this curve at a given point is x1, y1. You can show by calculus only, but you can show that the tangent equation will always be equal to what you get if you replace x square with x1, y square with y1, 2x with x plus x1, 2y with y plus y1, 2xy with x1y plus xy1, and keep the constant as it is. So those who don't know this, please make sure that you understand what I'm saying. You have to take this equation, and in this equation, you can replace x square with xx1, y square with y1, 2x with x plus x1, 2y with y plus y1, 2xy with x1y plus xy1, and keep the constant term unchanged. And the equation that comes is the equation of tangent at x1, y1 to this curve. If you have not seen this before, you need to write it down. It's a super important idea. Is that clear to everyone?
Yes, sir. So like I had a doubt like what do we do then? Like after creating this?
We write the tangent equation. The purpose is to write tangent equation, right?
नहीं like ये फॉर्मूला है बता एक्स स्क्वायर और वाई स्क्वायर को ऐसा ये फॉर्मूला है बट कैसे करेंगे
What do you mean x square को फिर ये फॉर्म मिलाने के बाद?
like how do we get the slope from this equation
It will become a straight line equation after that. X1, Y1 are known things. If you replace x square here with x1, y square with y1, and all of this stuff, x1 and y1 are constants which are known. It will become an equation in x and y like a normal line.
yes sir, I understood now
Sir, what is F, G, and H?
F, G, and H are constants for the curve. Everything is, you have never seen a 2D curve in x and y as coordinate geometry.
Sir, I don't remember.
F, G, and H are the constants which are telling us the equation of the curve. Here A, B, F, G, H, C are all constants. For
Sure.
example, here A is 1, B is 0 because there is no y square term. G is 1, F is 0, F is minus 2, H is 0, and C is 9 here.
Okay, sir, understood.
It is just a general 2D curve. Here, not all the time you will get all the terms, but any 2D curve can be written in this general form. And you have to, in that general curve, if you want a tangent at a fixed point, where the point coordinates are given, you can do this. We'll apply that method here to find the equation of the tangent at 1, 3. So we know x1, y1 now. x1, y1 is 1 and 3 for us, right? The curve equation is this. x1, y1 is 1 and 3. So what do? Instead of x square, I will write x1. Instead of 2x, I will write plus x1. Instead of 2y, I will write minus 2 times 2y. So 2y is y plus y1. And constant term is kept as it is. And now I'll put x1, y1 is 1 and 3. So this is 1 plus x plus 1 minus 2y plus 3 plus 9 equal to 0, right?
Sir, is AB square 292?
We'll see. That is correct. This becomes 2x plus 1 minus 2y minus 6 plus 9 equal to 0. And you are getting equation of tangent should be 2x minus 2y. Notice this is plus 4 equal to 0. And x minus y plus 2 equal to 0, right? This is coming my equation of tangent at P. Now you can do the calculus method also. It will take more time and you will get the same answer. Yashwant, are you understanding what we have done?
yes sir
If the point is given and the curve is given, this is the fastest way to get the tangent. There is no faster way. So you better use it when the time comes. Now, this tangent meets the y-axis at A, so you will put x is equal to 0. So A point would be basically 0, 2. And let the line passing through P and parallel to the line this. Line passing through P, passing through 1, 3 and parallel to this line. This line has slope what? Slope is 1 by 3, right?
yes sir
X minus 3y is equal to 6 has slope 1 by 3. So we will say line passing through P and slope 1 by 3. So it will be y minus 3 is equal to 1 by 3 x minus 1. This line meets the parabola y square is equal to 4x at B. So the equation of this line is 9 3y minus 9 is equal to x minus 1. So x is equal to 3y minus 8, right? This is the equation of my line, and the line meets the parabola at B. So let's find where this line meets the parabola. So for that, I have to solve the line with the curve. Curve is y square is equal to 4x and line is this. How do I solve it? I'll put the x here into this. 4 times 3y minus 8. So you get y square minus 12y plus 32 equals 0. And from here we get y can be 8 or y can be 4. There are 2 points where the line here meets the parabola. One point is when y is 8, which means x must be 16. So one point is 16 comma 8, and the other point is y is 4, which means x must be 4. Other point is 4 comma 4, right?
Yes, sir.
One of these 2 points must lie on this line. So let's check. 2 into 16, 32 minus 3 into 8, 24. So 16 comma 8 lies on this, right? So B must be 16 comma 8. A is 0 comma 2. So the distance AB square will be 256 plus 36, which is 292. Are you understanding what we have done?
Yes, sir.
The tangent method, please understand that I am hoping that you have seen that before in coordinate geometry, right? Did you see that before? The x square should be replaced with x1?
Like, no, sir. Like, in our syllabus, only straight lines is there from coordinate geometry.
You are writing what syllabus is this? What is this syllabus?
It's like Telangana.
Telangana. matlab,
Hyderabad, sir, it's like a different syllabus. In coordinate geometries, in mostly into like that.
JEE has the same syllabus. All of this is something that you have to learn. So far, they
Like,
have not done these chapters.
no, like coordinate geometries in major is in 12th.
Okay, fine. Fine. Anyway, then you'll learn it soon. But make sure if you're learning coordinate geometry, please buy the SL Loni book and read from there. Have you heard of this book?
Yes, sir.
Sir, like I'm good with Cengage, so I want to go with Cengage only.
You will not understand anything if you go with Cengage. Please buy this book and read the theory properly from this book. If you go with Cengage, you will just memorize 50 different formulas. What have you done in coordinate geometry in Cengage?
Only the straight lines part.
I'm telling you, do it from here. Unless you have more experience, then do it from here.
Okay, sir, I will do it from SL only.
Like, unless you have done IIT 20 years ago and trained many students for IIT, then you can decide, make your decision. But I suggest do it from here. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Are you understanding what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
The next topic that we'll be starting is up to you guys. You guys decide. We can do algebra also. AOD is done. So more or less of the differential calculus part is done. There is a little bit of calculus left, which is area under curves and differential equations. So that, I don't know, that maybe we can do it later. I want to do some chapters in algebra like complex numbers and all. Complex numbers everybody has done, right?
Yes, sir.
No, sir.
Why? It's not in your syllabus.
Yeah, there are very few chapters in our like in 11th syllabus.
There are multiple complex number videos in my channel. Make sure that you go through the videos. We'll be starting complex numbers next.
Sir, I am familiar with the basics of complex numbers like roots of unity and all this stuff.
We have to.
Sir, can I
Uh,
sir can I choose Cengage for algebra?
it's fine for algebra. I think it's fine. Algebra, it's fine. Calculus and all, it's fine. But trigonometry and coordinate geometry, you should do it from learning. But anyway, right now you can do it. Other people don't have that much time. If you come, obviously, if you come to me after 6 months, I will not tell you to do SL only because then it will be too late. But right now you have time to do it, so you should do coordinate geometry properly from SL only. We'll be starting some chapters in algebra. First chapter will be complex numbers. After that, we'll go over some of the chapters on the basis of their importance. So complex number is the most important chapter, more or less. So we'll start with that.
Sir, I've seen your videos in that Olympiad geometry as well. The dot product and cross product also, complex
Okay.
numbers.
So you don't need to watch that for JEE Main, but otherwise there are several easy videos from basics also for complex numbers on the channel. So if you go through some of the videos, Yashwant, I'm telling for you only. If you go through some of the videos, you'll understand the basics. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Just search for complex numbers on my channel. There will be 3, 4 videos. See whichever one is starting from the beginning. There are some
Okay,
videos
sir.
which will be starting from the beginning. So you need to watch some of that, and you need to start doing this complex numbers theory. It is technically a
Like, I'm
11.
not,
Huh?
so like I'm not understanding the which video is the theory one and the problem one.
Whichever video starts with complex numbers from the beginning, you have to watch a little bit, like 2 minutes, to realize whether it is starting from the beginning or whether it is starting with problems.
Uh, okay.
I mean, how will you understand by looking at it? I mean, I'm pretty sure there will be some videos with introduction to complex numbers or something like that written.
They are like that.
So those will be the beginning ones.
Sir, that book you recommended, Thomas and Finney, can
Hmm.
I practice calculus questions from that book?
That book is pretty easy.
Yeah,
It's for
very-
questions. You have to practice questions from your previous year's questions.
okay, sir.
That book is for theory, not for questions. That's very easy questions are there.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we'll continue tomorrow with algebra. Okay.
Advanced part, what should I practice right now?
What?
For advanced part, what should I practice in math?
PYQs. Last 15 years of advanced. 15, 20 years of all the questions you need to practice. And if
So
you
for,
solve, huh?
so for advanced, lot of them I've already completed with the chapters only. In Cengage, at the back part,
Yes.
where I've
अगर
solved.
तुमको लग रहा है कि lot of them you have already completed, then try to do them in time, 60 minutes.
Okay.
अगर लग रहा है कि सब हो चुका है पहले से ही, तो फिर से टाइम में करो फिर प्रैक्टिस. लेकिन प्रैक्टिस PYQ से ही करना है. लास्ट 25 years करो फिर.
हाँ.
And you have to practice in time in 60 minutes if you feel like you have already seen the questions before. But the
Yes.
idea is in advanced, you need to be able to solve 9 or 10 out of the 18 in 1 hour.
Yes.
You can solve 10 out of 18, then you will get into IIT.
Okay.
10 out of 18 means 6 minutes per question.
Yes, sir.
So 5 to 6 minutes per question you have. Do it in time, but don't practice from random places. Practice from PYQs only.
Yeah, I was doing yellow book, that algebra of Vikas Gupta, sir.
That's fine. You can do whatever color book you want, but
Yes, sir.
yellow book and red book and black book, all the books are fine only. But PYQs are the best source.
Yes, sir. I'm doing that also.
Okay, that's good then.
Sir,
Okay.
like I had one more doubt.
Hmm.
Like, where do we find the past papers for JEE Advanced? Like, completely like.
You should buy the book. There is several 3 books in the market which are like 44 years JE advanced chapter wise.
No, not like chapter wise. Like, it should be like a paper, right?
No, for you it should be chapter wise. Why will you
No,
do papers right now?
like I'm not understanding the how this JEE Advance is like. How many marks exactly, and what is the structure?
Structure and all you can understand by just looking at some video about JEE Advanced. For that, you don't need to buy a book. What is the structure? It is the same structure as
Yeah,
JEE.
some 360 and 330 like that.
It is not so complicated that you have to figure out that, and for that you need some resources. It is 3 hours paper, 1 hour each. I mean, obviously PCM, 18 questions in each paper. What is so difficult to understand?
Like some people say it is like the
This is the structure. It is 18 questions or 17 questions or sometimes 19 questions. That's it. That it's the same thing. It's just harder. In JEE Mains, there are 25 questions in each subject that you have to do. Here, there are lesser questions and harder questions. There is no new structure here.
like how many questions we have to do in to get into IT?
You want to qualify with a decent rank, you need to get above 50%. 50% should be the target. You need to do 9 or 10 in each subject. If you do more than that, very good. But if you do it this much also, you'll get into IIT.
So
Because
what AITS is fine.
what?
How much marks in like AITS is fine. If it's AITS of that difficulty.
With GITS, it depends. Sometimes they are easy, sometimes they are very hard. But
Like
uh,
time I got 32 out of 120.
32 out of
120.
in all three subjects.
No, sir. In this math one.
120 का कब से AITS हो रहा है मैथ्स का?
नहीं सर, जैसे पेपर 1 पेपर 2 ऐसे होता है ना.
ओ हाँ, 60-60.
हाँ.
Sir, and like one more thing,
I don't
like
know.
what is this? What is the meaning of paper two?
You don't know what paper 1, paper 2 is.
Yeah, like I've seen some of the JEE advanced results, and they say like paper one chemistry, then paper two chemistry. It is
There are
like
two exams on a single day, 3 hours and 3 hours later. That is paper 1, that is paper 2. It's not one 3 hour exam, it's a 6 hour exam with a break in between. Same pattern is there for both the papers. FITGI AITS, I think you need to get more than that. 16 out of 60 average is not good enough. You need to get 40.
Okay.
Even if it is very difficult paper, 33% is like 33% in JEE advanced is the lower end. Like you will make the cutoff, but it will be lower rank, right?
Yes, sir.
Even if you get 33% in JEE advanced, you will get into IIT, but with a lower rank. So
Yeah.
JEE AITS is sometimes very hard, but you should still target that, okay, I should be able to find enough questions to get me 40 marks, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yashwant, you need to buy the 3 books, 44 years solved chapter wise JEE advanced. You
okay,
understand
sir.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, yes, sir.
You don't need to do papers right now. Right now, you need to learn and you need to do chapter wise. Whatever chapter you're doing, you need to do the advanced questions from there. You have 1 year, later you can do papers.
Okay, sir.
There are several books. There is a book by MTG or something, or some publication, Disha publications, 44 years JEE advanced solved, each for physics, chemistry, math. And from there, you can work on whichever chapter you're doing, you can try the JEE advanced questions. Okay, that's all for now then. I will see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Mm.